Okay, so another example. Let's say I want to have to solve this using a simplex tableau. All right. So we're going to do everything that we just did. We're going to do it all in one example. All right. So first you'll want to convert this to a system of equations. So I'll have 4x1 plus 12x2 plus x3, and I'll want to add in my first slack variable, s1, equals 124. All right. Then I have 8x1, we've got 5x3, I've got s2 for that one, and that equals 152. All right. And finally, I want to put my maximization function on the bottom. Remember, I'm going to subtract all three of these over. So I'll have negative 2x1 minus x2 minus x3 plus z, and that equals 0. Okay, so that will give me the system that I am using, and maybe we could have offset this just a little. That's what I had intended to do, so that we see kind of what this should look like based on where the 0 should go. But my initial tableau over here is going to be 4, 12, 1, 1, and I do not have S2 or Z. So I'll have 0, 0, 124 here. All right. Then I have 8, 0, 5. No S1 means 0, 1, 0, 152. And I've got negative 2, negative 1, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. So you'll notice that when I do this, I'm always going to have something similar to the identity matrix forming right here. Okay? So there is my initial tableau. Okay? Now, I know that this is not my answer, all right, my optimal solution, because I have 3 negative values right here. Okay? My most negative value is negative 2, so that means that is my pivot column. All right. Now, for my ratios over here, I'm going to take 124 divided by 4, and that's going to give me 31. And I'm going to take 152 divided by 8, and that's going to give me 19. So that means that my lower non-negative ratio is in this row, and that means my pivot element is right there in my second row, first column. Okay, so I'm going to go into my matrix tab. I'm going to edit. So I'll go ahead and just clear this guy out almost all the way by doing that 1, 1 there. But I have now 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it is 4, 12, 1, 1, 0, 0, 124. 8, 0, 5, 0, 1, 0, 152, and negative 2, negative 1, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. All right, so when I go to pivot, I'll hit PRGM, go to the new pivot. I am going to hit enter on pivot, and this is in the second row, first column. And here we are. We have our next matrix. All right. Now I'm going to put equal to here because we have just changed it around using row operations. But I've got 0, 12, negative 3 halves, 1, 1 half, that's negative 0. I have 1, 0, 5, 8, 0, 1, 8, 0, 0, negative 1, 1/4, 0, 1/4, 1. And we have to be careful here because that's probably not the whole thing. We have one more row over there. We've got 40, or column, I'm sorry, 48, 19, and 38. So just to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different columns. Okay. Now, I'm not done because I still have a negative element. All right, this would give me a solution, but it would not be optimal. I know that now I am going to pivot off of this column because this is the most the most negative entry, and I'm going to find out which ratio is smaller. Okay. Now this one's a little tricky because I'm going to take 48 divided by 12. This is going to give me 4. That is 4. And 19 divided by 0 is undefined. That means I'm going to pick the one that actually is a non-negative number. All right. And that means that my pivot row is right here. So I'm going to pivot off of my 12 element, my row 1, column 2 element. Okay. So just from where we left off on our calculator, I can go over here to PRGM and new pivot, hit enter on pivot. We have, again, first row, second column. And there is my matrix. Looks pretty. Okay. But here we go. We have that my hopefully final matrix, and it looks like it is because all these entries are positive over here. I have 0, 1, negative 1/8, 1/12, negative 1/24. That's all that I can see. 1, 0, 5/8, 0, 1/8, 0, 0, 1/8, 1/12, 5/24. I'll arrow over. I have 0, 0, 1, and 4, 19, 42. I always like to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have all 7 columns in all 3 rows. And sorry, there we go. Okay, so then that means that my answer here is x1 equals 19, x2 equals 4. My slack variables are going to be 0. Oh, sorry, this is x3, isn't it? Remember, I had x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, and z, if I wanted to label those out. So x3 is going to equal 0 because this is all non-zero elements, right? S1 is going to equal 0, S2 is going to equal 0, and finally, Z is going to equal 42. All right. Now what that means is that my maximum is 42, and it occurs at 19 for x1, 4 for x2, and 0 for x3.